Please.
Hello, ladies, and welcome back to Boss Please. I'm Jillian, here with Malynda and Megan.
Hey, guys.
So, Malynda, I know, Malynda is being a total trooper today. She has no voice, but she is here. She is dedicated to this recording, so we are going to get her in and out of this session.
Yes, we are. Guys,
Bosses still got to do their jobs.
bosses have to do their jobs. Sometimes bosses get sick, but a boss will always show up, and that's what Malynda is doing right now.
So, how were you a boss this week, Meg?
I was a boss. You guys will be very proud of me because you know that I don't really know my way around the kitchen that well. But as of lately, because, I'm trying to be financially, aware, and I'm like, what do I already have in my apartment that I could actually make a dish? So I had some broccoli, I had some gluten-free noodles, I had some chicken, and I had some sprinkled cheese. I was like, and I had some gluten-free croutons. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a casserole. So I made the chicken, the broccoli, I put it in, I put the sprinkled cheese, and I kind of crumbled the croutons on top, and I baked it in the oven, and it came out. It wasn't as cheesy as I wanted it to be, but it actually came out pretty good.
It's still monumental for me.
You should see Jill's face right now.
I'm
She's
shocked.
Utterly impressed.
I
know.
So shocked.
Jill, I felt like such a boss. I actually should have taken a picture of it and sent it to both of you.
Oh my
but
gosh.
I just stuffed my face with
Wait,
it.
Malynda, and get this. So Megan came for Thanksgiving with my boyfriend and her mom, and she also made brownies.
I did. Yes, I did.
So domestic.
Were they good?
I don't think we
We didn't eat them, but they looked good.
Oh, Jill made a cheesecake.
Or were there cinnamon in them?
There's no cinnamon. No, she could have
No.
had it everything, but she made a cheesecake and we had cookies, so there's already a lot of things.
Yeah,
so
and she had other stops to make, so I was like, just bring it to your
love
next
it.
stop.
Yes, I love
But they look delicious.
But to be fair, I was only in charge of the wine this year. After last year, I was in charge of gluten-free cornbread, and clearly that didn't go according to plan. So Jill was like, Meg, just bring the wine, love. Don't worry about anything
and
else.
the wine was great.
I tried. I brought 3 different kinds. Ugh, anyways.
Look at you, giving variety. I love it.
Melinda is clearly being, I don't know how much more boss you can get than this, but.
Yeah, I had a great show in New York. That's why I'm sick, because I was in New York, and even though I lived there for a few years, you don't get used to the cold when you haven't
How
been
cold
in.
was it?
It was like 40s, 30s.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you have California blood, so.
I have California blood. Yeah. So, yeah, I was a boss because I had a great time in New York. It was a lot of fun, but now I'm trying to get back, and I'm already in alto, so I'm like a super bass right now. So,
hey, maybe you'll be able to bust out some stuff you didn't know that was in you,
She was like all concerned, but I'm like, this is kind of sexy.
Yeah, it is. It's just very sexy. How about you, Jill?
I was a boss because I prepped all of the Thanksgiving food that I cooked the day before, and I slept in on Thanksgiving, and I basically had nothing to do. I showed up at dinner, and all of my stuff was all ready and prepared. It was like the most stress-free holiday. So I food prepped actually while I worked. Hopefully my boss isn't listening to this. He won't be. But I prepped as I worked. I cut my potatoes and I made mashed potatoes, and we got to work from home that day, which was really
Speaking
really
of,
helpful.
thank you for those mashed potatoes because I had leftovers for days and I ate
Girl,
all
you're
of
welcome.
them.
Melinda, you can't have those. There was butter. There was
I made my own vegan
cream
mashed
cheese.
potatoes.
I'm sure they were delicious.
I have done Thanksgiving with Melinda before, and it was a great Thanksgiving. That was a good one too. Vegan and all. But
Yes.
there was a turkey. You even made a turkey.
I made the turkey.
Even though she's vegan.
I had to pray about it because I didn't know what I was doing. But everyone said it was good, so
It was very
I
good.
just followed instructions.
It was
and then
very
whatever
good.
happened.
Yes,
So thank you for saying that.
So for this week's Real Talk, I want to talk a little bit about relationships and kind of how you took the reins in a relationship, whether romantic or friendly. Do you make the first move in a relationship? How are you maintaining the relationship? So Megan, what's your take?
For me, I feel like I always have to be, I know it's awful, but I feel like I always have to be in control. So if I want something, I'm not going to wait for someone to approach me, or I'm kind of not old school like that. I guess I'm specifically talking about dating. I'm not going to wait. Every single connection I've made, it's really started because of me. Mostly I slide into their DMs.
Oh, you're the slider.
That's my way of throwing it out there. And the guy, my boyfriend now, that's how I did it with him. I someone introduced us via my cousin knew him, whatever, and I slid into his DMs. But yeah, no, I don't have a problem with being the first one to make the initiative or the first one to ask someone out on a date. Like I've never had to be old school like that.
Hold up. So we're at boyfriend now?
Yeah.
She's like, I guess.
Newsflash.
I know, yeah. Or exclusive. So yes, and like when I introduce him, that's what
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, to piggyback off of what you said, I am kind of shy, but for whatever reason in relationships, whether it be romantic or friendly, I suddenly have all of this bravery, and anybody that knows me would be like, oh wow, Jill, she's really confident. Inside I'm not confident, but on the outside I try to give off the air of confidence.
You do exude confidence.
One thing that I did was I made something happen for myself as far as friends and taking the initiative. My boyfriend was in Spain for 7 months shooting a movie, and I was in LA pretty much alone. You know, having been with him this entire time, I finally had, you know, all of this free time suddenly. And he used to make fun of me, but I would go on dates all the time, girl dates with friends. I would literally ask people out, like, hey, you know, do you want to grab coffee? Like, I remember that's when Megan and I reconnected, and I was like, do you want to go see a movie? And then I made dinner for her.
She really did. It was the cutest little date.
Yeah,
wow.
and like, I'm not afraid to do that because I'm all for like connecting with people, and I think, you know, and it was like a relationship. Some of the girls that I hung out with worked out, and some didn't. I never went on a second date with them.
Funny.
And it's so funny, but like, it's true. You know, it's very hard. I feel like I'm at a point in my life where finding friendship, it's a chore now a little bit because I'm not meeting too many new people. Right. So you have to really put yourself out there to sort of like expand your net or network. And that's one thing that I did. And I had to say, like, it's super rewarding to put yourself out there. And like, really, for the ones that didn't work out, it was a drink or it was coffee. And we're cordial, and it's not like, but there are some situations where I ended up being great friends with the people that I had these lady dates with. Right, so I suggest you guys try that. I don't know, whether it be with a man or a woman or whoever, ask them out, even if it's just friendly. I feel like, what do you have to lose?
Of course, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I could talk about this forever. I used to be like that, wanting to like put myself out there and make new friends, but I like being alone now. I do. I keep my circle very, very small intentionally. It is harder to make friends the older you get, and I feel like in my line of business, it's harder to decipher who are real friends. So that's why I kind of stay guarded in that sense. But as far as like taking the reins in relationship, I think I control definitely how close a friendship becomes. I don't want to like give my secrets away, but I think I tend to have a way of allowing people to feel very close to me without them really knowing much about me until I want them to know a lot about me, but they still feel like they do know a lot about me, if that sounds weird. It sounds like it's manipulative, but it's not my intention. It's just I'm really kind of feeling the situation out.
Right.
And then when I feel close to somebody, like, I want to keep them in my life forever. Yeah. So I'm kind of a control freak in that sense, but you don't really know that I'm controlling the situation.
I think we all like to be in control.
Yeah.
The three of us here.
I think so too.
We're very similar in that sense.
Yeah. That really makes sense.
Well, in the same theme of relationships, we have a wonderful woman on today. Her name is Stacey. She is the co-CEO of Forever Matchmaking, which is an affordable matchmaking service based out of Los Angeles. I am so excited to talk to her.
Super excited too.
I feel like we're going to be extremely enlightened on the situation, on the dating scene, and on how she sort of maintains her day-to-day life, meeting with these people that want forever lasting relationships.
Matchmaking is such a hard and weird thing. Like, I can't believe they made a business out of it. It's incredible.
It's so great too, because it's like, oh my gosh, there's someone that can like do this for me. And I'm not swiping anymore, but when I was, you know, on Bumble and stuff, it's like, wow, this is amazing. I'm so proud of her, and I'm excited to talk to her.
Yeah, so we'll be right back with Stacey. Welcome back, bosses. We are so excited to have Stacey Goryl in studio today. She is the CEO of Forever Matchmaking, and their tagline is less swiping, more dating, which I think we can all level with.
I love that.
Yeah. They're into the old school way of dating, meeting face to face, actually having a conversation, calling someone on the phone, things that we kind of lose track of in 2017.
Of course.
Yes.
Right. So it takes work, but they can promise that it's worth it. So I'm excited to dive in.
Me too.
Welcome, Stacey.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for being here.
So I want to know, how did you realize that this was your passion, this matchmaking business?
So I'd say it's been a passion of mine for about 15 to 20 years. I've always connected people, and I actually have 2 matches under my belt, and they're still married, and they both have kids, and they're very happy. So that makes me happy that it can work, absolutely. And it's just something I've always loved. Love. That's the bottom line. I actually have a ring right now. It says love on it. Mm-hmm. My engravable ring. And it's just something I believe in, and I feel like in this day and age, people are believing in it less and less. So Sarika, my business partner, and I are trying to bring back the love that it used to be. Less swiping, more dating, as you mentioned, is our tagline. And it's really important to us to have people meeting face to face and getting to know each other again, instead of just looking at their screen and deciding from a few pictures if they're going to like someone. And we feel like, let's get to know each and every person that's interested in finding love and that wants to be a part of our amazing business. And so far, so good.
Now, you talk about matching couples, but how did you and Sarika make a match in each other and start the business?
So that is a great question. Thank you for asking.
Yes, Joe.
Megan loves a good segue.
Yes, that is a great segue. So Sarika and I have known each other for about 10 to 12 years. Our friend John, we call him our original matchmaker, our OG. He, we were met through him. And the type of friends that we'd see each other every year on his birthday, for his birthday parties. And then we'd have dinner a couple times sprinkled in throughout the years. And then one of the few times we saw each other, we said, let's do lunch. Literally, let's do lunch. I think for 5 years, let's do lunch. So last Halloween, October 31st, if people aren't sure when Halloween is, 2016, we finally had our lunch. And we were sitting there talking and saying, I said, I'm so glad I got married later in life and I waited for the right one. And she said, I feel the same way. And she was pregnant at the time with her son. And she said, yeah, I've set people up that have gotten married and have had kids. And I said, so have I. And she said, I've always wanted to start a matchmaking business. And I said, so have I. Literally, I am not joking, because I always believe in putting things out in the universe.
Yeah.
Totally.
That a few weeks before that, I said to my friends, my husband and I were hanging out at a friend's house, and I said, I want to start a matchmaking business so badly. I just don't know how to start it. And then literally 3 weeks later, Sarika and I have this lunch and this conversation. So besheret, as us Jews say, and total kismet, and it just took off from there. And we, the name came quickly, and then we worked with a friend of mine that did our logo, which I'm so in love with our logo. Check it out online, forevermatchmaking.com. And another friend that Sarika had from college did our website, and we had a lawyer, and we got everything together, and it just kept snowballing, and we were so excited that something that we've always wanted to do actually came to fruition, and we launched in LA June 29th at Teatro in Santa Monica.
Oh,
I love that.
Which
is all
incredible.
fell in place.
And when I pictured where I wanted to have our launch, it was at Teatro, because I know Catherine Ahn, the Ahn family is so wonderful. And she said, let's do this. And we thought we were going to have about 100 people. We had almost 200 people.
Oh, my God.
It was so just everything. I'm literally getting the chills thinking about it. It was everything that we had wanted to be. Right. And then I'm originally from Rhode Island. And we both want to find love for whoever wants it as quickly and as globally as nationwide as possible. Mm-hmm. So we actually launched in Rhode Island in the beginning of August as well.
Oh, that is amazing.
So East Coast, West Coast, and then constantly talking to friends that are all over the country. And I feel like our generation is so more apt to move and take that chance. Mm-hmm. So that's why we thought, you know what, with FaceTime, with everything technology now, you literally could find love across the country without without meeting yet FaceTiming until you have the chance to get to know each other.
That's amazing.
I'm so thankful that you did this because I, out of, Malynda and Jill, have been the most single one and have done all the dating apps.
Yes.
But it is so important to meet someone face to face and get
100%.
that connection. Because sometimes you're going to be on Bumble, you're going to be on Tinder, and you're going to be talking to someone, messaging back and forth for weeks, and then you finally decide to meet up for drinks and you realize, like, oh, there's no spark.
Right.
So this just completely...
Absolutely.
Is there a certain age group that you particularly work with, or is it all ages?
So we literally, I always say to people, 21 to 150. Like I that's how much we want to help. So we do have clients in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s right now.
It's beautiful.
Amazing.
And it's just who doesn't want to find love at the end of the day? Who would not love to have someone in their life?
Absolutely. So when you were starting up the business, what were some of the biggest challenges that you and Sarika faced?
Ooh, that is a good question. I honestly think we were so excited about
everything
it.
fell into place.
Yeah, right.
I hate to say that.
That's
really
amazing.
do.
That's fine, though. That's incredible.
We had the same mindset. We had the same opinions, same ideas. And I feel like we're the same person. And so that's why it works.
It's very rare to find a partnership that works so beautifully like that.
I love Sarika, and I always say, I'm so happy to be on this journey with you because it literally just fell into place.
But I mean, it's okay that you say that because, yes, maybe everything fell into place right now, but you're wearing that girl boss necklace for a reason.
Absolutely.
Because the struggles came before that. So do you want to talk a little bit about pre-matchmaking life?
Absolutely. I never, and I just said this to someone the other day, I never thought I'd be an entrepreneur. Never. I mean, it's just when we are younger, we're raised to, we're going to go to school, then we're going to go to college, and then we're going to meet our boyfriend, and then we're going to get married, and then we're going to have kids by the time we're 25. So I feel like that's sort of what I thought my life was going to be like.
Right.
And my brother and I moved to LA 22 years ago. And first of all, if anyone would have said I would have left my family in Rhode Island to move to LA, I would have thought you are crazy. And so my brother and I moved out here with a dream of, acting and being like Elizabeth and Andrew Shue or John and Joan Cusack. And my brother is still acting and doing well. And I decided that I wanted to go into the production side of things. And so I went into the production side of things, and literally I had 3 jobs in a row that literally killed my soul. And I thought, I can't do this anymore. Right. Oh my God. And I would have severe anxiety and physically
I think you're living my life, like currently.
We will talk about that if you like. And I was so stressed out, and I looked at Brendan, who was my then boyfriend, now husband, and I said, I am going to be 39 years old. There is this can't be it, because I got laid off from the third. It was in 2009, December of 2008, from this advertising job I worked for, where I became the scapegoat of everything, and it just was miserable. But I refused to quit. I never quit. I can do it, and then they laid me off. So I remember sitting on the couch with Brendan saying, I can't. I don't understand. Where is the happiness? Because I have always been glass half full, always happy person, seeing the positive in everything. Right. And I thought, what am I going to do now? So I started doing a couple of jobs. I did some wardrobe styling with a friend, and then some staging with another friend. And then I got an invite to a Stella and Dot trunk show. And I thought, I have no idea what Stella and Dot is, but I am going to go because I want to be with my girlfriends. And Brendan was going to be out of town for work. And so I went, and I decided that, the day of the trunk show, I actually got a check in the mail from my aunt. My grandfather had passed away in January. And instead of my dad taking the money, he said, send it to the kids. So my dad gave the rest of the money to my brother and I. And I went to this trunk show because I was collecting unemployment. I don't know if I mentioned that. And I thought, I can't even afford to buy anything at this event that I don't even know what I'm doing. And I got there, and I've loved jewelry my entire life. So jewelry, people, and love are my 3 passions. And so I decided to get a necklace that was going to remind me of my grandfather. And so one of the stylists at the trunk show looked at me and said, you should totally do this. And I thought, oh my God, this is a pyramid scheme and I am running for the hills. Right. So then I went home and I called my friends East Coast and West Coast and I asked for people's opinions. And then I found out Jessica Heron, who is the most amazing entrepreneur, and, you know, she started Stella & Dot. And she was going to be in LA, and I went to meet with her I think there was 18 of us in this woman's house. And I said, I want what she's having. And I went home and I signed up, and I realized, you know, I used the rest of the money from the check, which wasn't a lot of money, but it helped me get that necklace and then start my business. And as I'm starting my business, it dawned on me that my grandfather used to call my grandmother Dot. And I thought, oh my God, once again, like, this is where I'm supposed to be. So 8 years later, I'm one of the founding leaders and stylists with Stella & Dot. And it's just been so great and has allowed me to be East Coast, West Coast. And so I'm sure, not knowing I had an entrepreneurial spirit, that came out and even allowed me even more to have the confidence to start this business with Sarika.
Yeah.
Without even looking back. I mean, not even blinking an eye. I had no fear. I said, you know what? The fact that you want to do this too, and I've always wanted to find love for people and be a matchmaker, this is it. Like, this is happening.
So it sounds like, sorry, I keep referencing myself, but I just keep seeing a lot of things. I just turned 30, and it sounds like that there was a time, I think when you were already in your 30s maybe, that you were like, oh my gosh, like, you talk about kind of being broke, and when was it the pivotal, like, kind of rock bottom, and what did you do to help keep yourself going every day?
I think the 3 jobs in the entertainment industry, literally, I was crying a lot, and I thought, oh my gosh, I am a very sensitive person, and all of those 3 jobs led me to become a stronger person, stronger than I think I ever was, and I was determined to be happy. These women were not allowing me to be happy, and these men that I work for were not allowing my happiness. They were sort of squishing me and bringing me down, and I thought, oh no, girlfriend, I gotta figure out how to stay up.
Right.
And I just said, you know what, I'm doing this. I jumped into, like I said, Stella, because I thought, I'm working for myself. That's when I decided, and I think this is now the answer to your question.
I'm like, girl, we're on another level. I'm like connecting with you spiritually right now.
I literally, I said I was 36. No, I was not. That's right. I was 39. I was 39 years old. And that's when I just thought, I don't want to cry anymore. I have to find my happy place, and my happy place is now going to be me as my own girl boss and taking control of my life, and not if anyone gets mad at me, it's going to be me. And I'm going to be responsible for my life. And so, like I was saying the other day, I never thought that this would be, you know, I never thought I'd get married at almost 44. So it's almost like 20. If someone would have said, this is your life, you're going to be, I would not have believed them. But I am so beyond happy that this is what my life is, and what I've created, and what Sarika and I have created. It's amazing. It really is.
It seems like your girl boss entrepreneurial life is a balancing act.
Yes.
So how do you balance everything? Because you're doing the Stella & Dot, you're doing the matchmaking. You told me before that you're working in a store one day a week. Like, how do you prioritize? How do you balance your day-to-day?
That is also a great question, because I don't think time management is one of my strengths in life. I really don't. But I just continue to go and strive and be, and just, I don't want to say it for lack of a better word, but I just do it. I just make it happen. Yeah. And I don't even think about it. It just sort of flows, which is why with Forever Matchmaking, everywhere I go, I'm not joking, I am talking to everybody. I'm looking at people. I'm asking them if they're single. I've never been a shy person, which Sarika hasn't either. And so we both have a love of people and making connections. And Forever Matchmaking, we don't want it to just be a matchmaking company. We actually want to match people not only in love, but in life. That's so right. Any way we can connect people with anything that they need in their life, that's really what we're about.
And that's really cool, because you have, and we all have, left somewhere else to come here. Well, you went to Chicago for a little bit and came back here. So it's hard, you know, like, thank God Jill and I knew each other at Emerson, but some people move across the country for a big dream, leaving their families, and they don't have a family, and this is like a perfect way for them to match up with somebody that has similar interests.
Exactly. Yeah. I met a girl today, actually, and she is from back east, and we just connected on, she asked me about having a business card made, and I love our Forever Matchmaking business cards. They're I'm gonna give one to all of you.
Yes,
they're soft. And can I make a plug for where we got them?
Absolutely.
Okay. Moonlight Printing in Beverly Hills, and Avi is amazing. He is the owner of the store. And when I met him at a networking event, he gave me his card. I said, Avi, this card feels so amazing. This is what I want our cards to feel like. And then I had Sarika feel it, the next time, and she said that, love it. And that is one of the first things that people say, oh, this feels so good. we just want.
So it's the icebreaker.
Yeah.
That's great. And Sarika and I literally just want, the world needs more love, as I mentioned before, and we just want to bring joy and love into this world because, there are so many things that are going on right now, and people are not in their happy place. So we hope to bring people to that happy place and to believe in love again, to be honest with you, because we know a lot of single people that are so down about not being able to find the one that we're not saying it's going to be easy. I want everyone to understand that, but it's worth waiting, and it's worth believing in. You just have to have faith, no matter what religion you are, whether you believe in God or whatever your beliefs are. But we know that there's someone for everyone, and you just have to know that. So anyone out there that is believing that they will not find someone and are so down on love, I promise you, because I've been there, and I think you were saying, that
absolutely
we have all been there, but I just hang in there.
Yeah.
Hang in there. We want to help.
I love that.
Now, I had no concept of what matchmaking was until a TV show came on called Millionaire Matchmaker.
Yes,
right.
And I know that there are a lot of non-believers out there, or people that think that the way that Patty Stanger does it is the way that everyone does it. So can you tell us a little bit about how you sort of convince those people that maybe aren't so into it to actually give it a shot and give it a try?
Absolutely. Mentioning Patty Stanger, I love that show. I've watched it for so long that I actually heard she was going to be at Hollywood and Highland. This is years and years and years ago. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to try to get a job with Patty Stanger. So this is how long I've wanted to do this. And so I printed my resume on a hot pink piece of paper, and I brought it to her, and I just walked right up to her, and she said, okay, give it to Destin. We'll call you. So they called me, and they said, we hear you're looking for love. I said, no, I have love, but I'm looking for a job. And then I never heard back again. So I thought, okay. But Sarika and I, every time someone is interested, a potential client, we meet with them and get to know them and have them get to know us. So it's very one-on-one, very individualized, very personal. We want to just have them trust us as we can trust them. It has to be a relationship.
Of course.
We don't want people just to be in our database and we don't talk to them and communicate. I try to keep in touch with our clients, as Sarika does, on a weekly basis, and just check in with them and how you doing? How did your day go? Just very much involved in the process. And so that's what I want people to know about us, is that we genuinely care and want to find you what you're looking for.
Now, Patty has rules. Do you have rules?
No. Sarika and I just talked about this the other day, actually. When we were meeting with a potential client, we said, just so you know, we have no rules, except you have to call someone on the phone. You cannot have a texting. Texting
I love it.
is
Right.
no.
Yes. No. Especially in the beginning, because you don't know their personality well enough yet.
The thought of texting, if I was dating right now, I think I would be frozen. I would not even know. Frozen and very depressed. It stresses me out. So that is the one rule. You have to call them.
Yep.
And someone said, well, can I at least text to see when a good time would be to call them? And I said, no, that's okay. No, I said, that's okay, out of respect for their jobs. I understand that, because not everybody can talk when...
Right.
And so that is our one rule. But otherwise, we are different than other matchmakers, where we let them take it from here. So they mutually agree to meet, and they set up their own date and what they want to do. And what we find in doing that is people are so happy about that, because a lot of guys say, I have spent so much money on dinners.
Right.
And I've been on a date with, I was on J-Date before, many years ago. And I was on this dinner date, and I thought, oh my God, I wanted to leave so badly, but you can't just leave. And then he's paying for this meal, and you feel badly. So it's whatever they're up for. Obviously, if you're going to have a drink with someone and you feel like it's going well, then obviously you're probably going to grab dinner.
Right, sure.
So, you know, I don't, like Patty says, I don't believe in sex on the first date. And I'm pretty sure our clients so far are adhering to that.
Do you tell them that, though? Are you like, we recommend no sex?
Well, it's so funny. I almost feel like we don't have to say that. With the people we've been working with, we sort of all understand each other, and it hasn't been, people are just wanting to have a drink or coffee with someone.
Totally.
That's where it's really starting. So I feel like the apps where you're swiping is more of that.
You're right.
Where the people that we're meeting, which I love, and Sarika and I are just so happy about, are people that genuinely want to find love. They're very serious about this and the process. Otherwise, it won't be a good fit. We don't just want to set people up to go.
Of course. And already, I mean, if someone's going to you, they're like mutually putting in the effort. They want something real. Right. Versus the easy way out of, let's just swipe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I see that.
Absolutely. And so it's been real. So yeah, the rule thing, we're not rule followers.
I like the phone call rule though, because people get anxiety about a phone call nowadays.
I know.
It's crazy. No one wants to talk on the phone.
To hear someone's voice on the phone is really, it changes it. I think.
It does.
Completely.
It does.
Every time I hear my husband on the phone, and I will never forget this, the very first time he said he was going to call me, and he called when he said he was going to call, Monday at 6 o'clock. I'll never forget it. And I sat there with my date book open, and I remember thinking, he has such a sexy voice.
I love it.
And he still has a very. He's probably gonna be like so embarrassed now, but
that's okay. You know he's gonna listen to it.
Exactly.
That's so great. Oh my gosh, I'm learning so much from you. This is amazing. But I love the fact that you're just like a badass female entrepreneur and going for it.
Absolutely. And Sarika and I just really want to make a change. It is our mission to make a change and to change the way love, we say we're making love happen one date at a time.
Yeah,
so cute.
I love that.
And it is a patient process. You have to be patient, and you have to be kind, and you have to be thoughtful, and really know what you want. But another thing is, everyone has their checklist, right? And what we're trying to do is trying to get rid of that stigma of having you're not going to find exactly what you're looking for. You're going to get close. I mean, you're married, so and you're going to get close.
Absolutely.
But you also have to compromise on a couple of things, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you're in that relationship. I'm not saying compromise on the things that are absolutely important to you, but it's okay to. A lot of people think they know what they want, and then they end up with exactly the opposite.
Completely.
And so just be open-minded. And the other thing we're trying to do is when people see a picture of their potential date, to try not to judge from the picture.
Sure.
If Sarika and I feel in our gut that it's going to be a good match, just please trust us.
Right.
And go on that date, because what is a coffee or a drink it's not really going to hurt anybody.
Right.
Sure.
But it hurts yourself if you don't give them a chance. So I believe in taking those chances and taking that risk. And the other thing is, you have no idea who that person is going to introduce you to. If it doesn't work out with them, they might know someone that clicks in their head, you know what, this would be great for my friend so-and-so. So I just think people shouldn't rule things out and judge so quickly. That's kind of a rule.
Yeah. But that's a good rule. That's another good rule.
Yeah.
That's Sarika and I are sort of standing behind.
Especially here in life, like you were just saying, it's more than just love matchmaking. It's becoming friendship. And even if it doesn't, you're right. Coffee, drinks, it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt to expand your network, expand your base of people.
Absolutely. And, well, like I was saying, you might think you know what you want physically as well as, emotionally and all of that. But you'd be if you lined up all of my boyfriends, you would not even have a clue what I was looking for.
Same.
But when I met Brendan, and he was just like this bright, shining, like love of life guy, that, that's my guy. He is my true partner in crime. And I am so lucky and so blessed and grateful that, he showed up at Cabo Cantina that night. Of all places, 2 for 1, people, 48 every day.
It's so fantastic.
So for the people that are out here listening to us, that are looking for love, that are looking for friendship, where can they find you guys?
So that's a great question. I love you guys. All have awesome questions. So we are on Facebook as Forever Matchmaking, and on Instagram Forever Matchmaking, and then our website is forevermatchmaking.com.
Perfect.
Great. Stacey, thank you.
Yes,
thank you so much, Sarika. We are just so happy to help everyone find love. It's awesome. Love is awesome when you find it.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much. And guys, we'll see you next week.
Thank you, ladies, for letting me be here today.
Absolutely.
Bye. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Boss Please Pod. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on iTunes. Navigate the path to your best self with us, because bossing together is always better.